What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? Today's video is a pretty good one. We've got some interesting price action from Bitcoin. We have some interesting news stories from Swift and Chainlink, as well as $3.6 billion in Bitcoin being stolen and the people responsible disappearing. So, before we get into any of that, if at any point you enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like, hitting subscribe, turning on my post notifications so you can always be here as soon as I upload, and it really supports my channel. Thank you, everybody. So let's just go over Bitcoin's price action real quick. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how we were looking for this green dot to print right here, and if it ends up confirming today, then we have a pretty substantial bullish divergence on the daily time frame here. And from the bottom of the wick, Bitcoin already pumped up another 20%. But I would almost expect Bitcoin to maybe test the top of this trading range again, considering how big this bullish divergence is, as well as we also have the VWAP crossing over into the positive side right here. If you zoom in, you can see it just crossed over the zero line there, which is good news. On the 4-hour here, we have a green dot, as well as the VWAP taking a sharp turn to the upside. And looking at the 1-hour, it's looking like we could print a red dot up here on the momentum wave soon. We also have the 1-hour VWAP looking like it's decreasing in momentum. So I would expect possibly to get a rejection off this line again before possibly breaking up above it at some point soon and retesting it. Now we have to be cautious because we do still have the CME futures expirations coming tomorrow, and as we all know, that typically brings some bearish action for crypto towards the end of the month. So if you're trading, just some things to keep in mind. We've got the futures expiring tomorrow, but we do have some pretty significant bullish signals here for the medium term. Okay, so now jumping over to the Swift and Chainlink news. This is something that excites me because I am a huge proponent of Chainlink. Now, Swift is a financial messaging service. It is a huge name in the current financial service, and as we all know, Chainlink has secured a partnership of sorts with them. And Chainlink is aiming to integrate with Swift to bring the current financial system onto the blockchain. 6 of the world's biggest banks endorsed a new platform for international payments set to launch in November 2022 by Swift, a global interbank messaging network. So, Citi, Bank of China, PNB Paribas, this bank, PNB Millen, and Standard Chartered plan to use the new platform, an announcement Thursday. Okay, good grammar. Swift is a global messaging network connecting banks and other financial institutions for cross-border payments. It links more than 11,000 institutions, and in June alone has transmitted more than 350 million messages containing financial information. The new platform is set to include features such as upfront validation of beneficiary details, extensions of Swift's high-speed system to lower value payments, and in cooperation of the Universal Messaging Standard for international payments. There have been suggestions that Swift could be made redundant by growth in use of digital currency, be it crypto, stablecoins, or central bank digital currencies. So Swift could be made redundant by growth in use of digital currency. So what do? They partner with Chainlink. Alright, so next I want to play you this clip from a Sergey Nazarov interview where he just talks about what Chainlink does and how Swift works into their plan as a whole. and it's pretty interesting stuff. So roll that clip.
What we make at Chainlink can really be conceptualized in two forms. In simple terms, it's a secure blockchain middleware that provides access to various chains through one simple integration from existing systems and providing various data to those various chains. In advanced terms, it's actually an abstraction layer that validates data and commands so that they can be considered reliable enough to trigger, billions and trillions of dollars in value. And that goes to the guarantees of a blockchain extended to something like an abstraction layer or middleware. In terms of the work that we've done in the past, as far back as 2017, I think we were able to get Swift ISO 20022 compliant messages sent from smart contracts and then get Swift kind of outcomes from the Swift network back into a smart contract. And since then, there's been a lot of progress made on how the technology works and what it's capable of in various chains. So I think the previous body of work that we put together was very impressive in that it clearly showed that you could use existing private key infrastructure, existing messaging standards, such as Swift, which is the largest global standard for triggering blockchain transactions and for the blockchain events to actually affect important enterprise events using existing messaging standards and existing private key and public key infrastructure, which is really what has always added up for me as to how a lot of this would evolve.
So yeah, you guys know that I'm a fan of Chainlink. I'm really excited for what they could potentially bring to decentralized finance and the crypto space as a whole. They're aiming to link financial institutions to blockchain network. They're looking to make off-chain information available for use in smart contracts. And yeah, Chainlink keeps me interested. I'm going to be watching how all of this turns out. Okay, next story. So, founders of South African crypto investment firm and 3.6 billion in Bitcoin are missing. The founders of South Africa-based crypto investment firm Africrypt have disappeared along with 69,000 Bitcoins, an estimated 3.6 billion according to a report from Bloomberg on Wednesday. In mid-April, Africrypt's investors were sent an email claiming the platform was shutting down and freezing all accounts following a hack that compromised client accounts, wallets, and nodes. Investors were reportedly asked not to report the hack to law enforcement, which the founders claimed would slow the recovery process. However, shortly after the so-called hack, Africrypt's founders allegedly transferred the pooled investor funds from an account at Johannesburg-based First National Bank and disappeared to the UK. So that really sucks for anybody in South Africa who was involved with this firm. They just rug pulled you for 69,000 Bitcoins, and I mean, I would be surprised if they were able to get away with it, if they're able to live out their lives peacefully in the UK without law enforcement catching up to them. These men got a set of kahunas, I'll give them that. So another story here, we have crypto bills passing through the House of Representatives again, looking to go to Senate next. The two blockchain bills, the Blockchain Innovation Act and parts of the Digital Taxonomy Act, direct the Secretary of Commerce and the Federal Trade Commissions to study and report on the use of blockchain technology and digital tokens. The Consumer Safety Technology Act was approved in previous sessions of Congress, passing the House in September of 2020, but was never approved by the Senate and died at the close of the session. By reintroducing the bill and passing it on to the Senate again, McCurney and his co-sponsors, including longtime blockchain advocate Representative Darren Sato, are giving the bill a second chance. The blockchain bills are one of many in a series of attempts to provide regulatory clarity on digital asset ownership and management. Many in the crypto space are increasingly demanding regulation, claiming that the lack of legal framework stifles innovation. So, What do you guys think of this? Do you think that regulations are beneficial to the crypto space as a whole? Or do you think this is the government trying to take control of something that was designed to be out of the hands of authority? I think that the lack of legal framework does stifle innovation because it people developing in crypto are kind of just feeling around in the dark right now, trying to figure out what they can and can't do. So yeah, I think it's a bit of both. I think having clarity on our regulations is necessary, but we need to be conscious and make sure that they're not trying to sneak their hand in to take control of something that they were not meant to have control over. Okay guys, that pretty much does it for this video. Leave your guys' opinions on these news stories down in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think of this. I'll reply to every comment. As long as you're not a scammer or a spammer, then I would love to engage in conversation with you in the comment section. So leave your opinions down there. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like, hitting subscribe, turning on my post notifications. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my next video. Peace.